the Cooperstown Casebook. So, Jay, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing pretty well, thanks.
Yeah, so you just came out with a new book, the Cooperstown Casebook, just a few weeks ago. Can you tell a little of the Fuse Nation what the book is about for those who are unaware of it?
Yeah, it's about the Hall of Fame, the Baseball Hall of Fame, and it uses advanced statistics to examine both who's in the Hall of Fame and who's not in the Hall of Fame, and also some deeper historical research of the kind that I've been doing into the Hall for the last 15 or 16 years to tell stories about how the Hall came to be the way it is, and certain facets of it, like the battle to um, incorporate advanced statistics like wins above replacement into Hall of Fame arguments, which kind of parallels their entrance into the mainstream of baseball conversation in terms of today. The way that Moneyball and things like that have increased our vocabulary when it comes to baseball statistics, so to speak.
Mhm. Now, you helped create something. It's called JAWS. Can you explain what JAWS is?
Sure. JAWS is short for the Jaffe wins above replacement score. It is an attempt to rank players. It's a tool to rank players using both their career accomplishments and their peak accomplishments, which I define as the player's best 7 seasons. The idea is to use wins above replacement, which can estimate a player's offensive value in whole, not just hitting, but also base running, and also his defensive value. To account for the wide variations in scoring that we see throughout baseball history. You've got the dead ball era in the 1900s when scoring was low. Then you've got a much higher scoring era just 20 or 30 years later, low scoring 60s and the high scoring 2000s. And you want to be able to put all those accomplishments there on a level playing field. And that's what wins above replacement tries to do. It also adjusts for ballpark so that we can more easily compare, let's say, Sandy Koufax in the mid-'60s when run scoring was low and he was pitching in Dodger Stadium, to Pedro Martinez in the 1999 and 2000 when he was pitching at Fenway Park during one of the highest scoring periods of baseball history. So the idea is that you can compare each candidate on the ballot to the players who are already in the Hall of Fame using career and peak WAR totals and JAWS, and get an idea of whether the players in question at least maintain the standards of who's in the Hall of Fame and if therefore are suitable for election.
Mhm. Now, Jay, I just bought the book, and it should be coming next week, and I'm excited to read it. And can you talk to the Fuse Nation a little bit about the steroid era and what is your stance when it comes to steroids in the MLB?
Sure. I've been writing about steroids in baseball for about 15 years. I mean, really ever since the stuff started really breaking as big news in the early 2000s, going back to the congressional testimony and all of that. And having researched this stuff, what I can say is that PED use didn't begin in the mid-'90s. It goes all the way back to the 19th century. Pud Galvin, the first 300 game winner, is reputed to have injected an extract from monkey testicles into himself to reinvigorate his arm. And Babe Ruth is said to have done something similar with sheep extract. The year that he got his big bellyache and missed nearly 2 months of the season in 1925. You've got amphetamine use from the 50s through the 2000s. Steroids came along in there. They were just the next chapter of that. And I think, to me, rather than drawing a line and going by, rather than going by, who we suspect and who's the various levels of suspicion and proof that we have, I think what makes the most sense to me is to just draw a line between what came before the implementation of testing in Major League Baseball, testing and suspensions in 2004, and what came afterwards. Because without that, you don't have any real deterrence. You've got basically what amounts to an unpoliced stretch of highway where there's really effectively no speed limit. And so whatever Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens or Mark McGwire or Sammy Sosa did, I care less about that than just, what I do, how their accomplishments stack up to those in the Hall of Fame. And to me, Bonds and Clemens are well qualified. McGuire's kind of a borderline case. Sosa's a little bit below the bar for me. I don't get caught up in the steroid stuff. Whereas, for what happened after, when you've got a positive test, I think you can punish. Accomplishments are considerable. I don't think that he could have accomplished what he did, without some amount of natural talent. But I understand the impulse to want to punish him and keep him out of the Hall of Fame. And I have my reservations about waving him in there immediately. I think as time goes on, that could potentially soften. But we've got at least another 5 years before we have to address that. I want to see where the voting goes with Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, and also some of the other guys on the ballot, like Manny Ramirez, who did surprisingly well in his first year relative to what Rafael Palmeiro did, or even Sammy Sosa, who doesn't have a positive test to his name. So suffice it to say, I'm still thinking about how I would handle A-Rod. My initial inclination is that I wouldn't vote for him.
All right. Well, Jay, you have received a lot of positive reviews about this new book. So what's next? Would you consider writing a second book in the coming years?
If given the opportunity, absolutely. I mean, the Hall of Fame, one of the great things about it is it comes up every year. It's a never-ending source of debate with fans and fellow writers. And if I can find new angles that stimulate as much conversation as this book has, then I think I'll be happy to do another book.
And I am very lucky here, located in upstate New York. Cooperstown is just an hour away. It's a beautiful city, and it's a great Hall of Fame. I know you were there just a few days ago, right?
Yeah, I actually got to the induction ceremony for the first time. It was a real treat seeing Tim Raines inducted, because he's somebody who I've advocated for his election, for the entirety of his 10-year run on the ballot. And, somebody who was one of my favorite players growing up. So I even got to meet him, and that was very cool. Awesome.
Jay, final question here before we wrap it up. There's been a lot of rumors about what can the MLB do to speed up the game. One thing that you would change to the MLB, if possible, if you were commissioner for a day, what would you do to speed up the game of baseball?
Pitch clocks.
Okay.
I think you gotta cut it down to maybe 15 or 20 seconds between pitches. To me, there's just so much dawdling that goes on between pitches, and if you could speed that up, you could eliminate a good amount of the slack time.
I definitely agree with that. Jay, I want to say thank you for taking the time to come on my show. And where can the fans buy the Cooperstown Casebook?
It's available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and a whole lot of others, including local indies. Go to IndieBound.com, and you can find your local independent retailer, or go to CooperstownCasebook.com and follow the links there if you want to get a signed and personalized copy sold from an independent bookstore in Brooklyn, where I go to sign the books every week.
Great. Thank you a lot, Jay, for coming on my show, and I hope to talk to you very soon.
All right. Cool. Thanks, Alex.
You're welcome. Okay, Feuz Nation, thanks for tuning in on this Facebook Live and YouTube Live episode. You can follow me on Twitter at Alex Feuz. Be sure to hit the Facebook like button here on Facebook. I will be seeing you very soon, maybe tomorrow, with another special guest. Thanks for listening. I will be seeing you very soon. Thanks for watching.